Okay, another one? Yes, sir?
Yeah, Colin Cowdrey had a great reputation as, if he nicked the ball, he used to walk.
Oh, we're going down the walking route, are we?
Are there any players today who do that sort of thing, or would the DRS affect that?
Right, good question. Colin Cowdrey was a walker. Is that possible, really, in the modern age? Is A, a question, and B, how has DRS, is there any danger of DRS bringing that in, really, as players get exposed when they don't walk? I suppose that's an interesting point. Brings us to India and the DRS, lovely. Let's go, I mean, is it absolutely fanciful to suggest that anybody, I mean, Brian Lara was a walker? I think, no? You don't know?
I'll just try and catch it, mate.
Adam Gilchrist?
Okay.
You don't want to talk about this?
No, I'm happy to. You're saying they were walkers.
No, I'm not. I'm asking the question. You don't know. The hard question.
I don't know.
All right, let's start this again.
All I do know is I've not kept or stood behind a walker for 7 years.
Okay. Tony Gregg.
Sorry. On 150, maybe. On 5, no.
That's a very revealing argument. Tony Gregg made it very clear to his England teams that they may well walk in county cricket if they wanted to, but when they were playing Australia in a test match, they better stand there, boy. What about the age you played in?
Look, the circumstances were completely different. You've got to understand that in those days, maybe a couple of players had cars. And so you walked. And you walked to the ground.
This is what I did by asking. Here we go.
Okay. And so you got into the habit of walking, if you nicked. But again, like Matt said, when it came to good old neighbours, you didn't walk.
Okay. Ian?
Well, I remember Dilip Venksacker out here nicked the cover off it on about 5 and went on to make 175, I think it was, on this ground. So I walked in county cricket. I never ever walked in international cricket.
Okay. Look, we've had many years now of these fabulous evenings, and in the early years we used to talk about this a lot, and then we kind of felt we'd done it. What I think is valuable is to talk for a minute about DRS, which I think is changing perspectives. I'm not saying it automatically makes players more honest, but it's certainly something that is there is able to expose a player. India still don't trust it. Is it really as simple as that? Is it a couple of players? Is it the key administrators?
I really wouldn't have a clue, honestly, because I don't know what goes on in the dressing room. India, when the DRS came through in 2008, India had, I think, a pretty bad record of challenging it. I think they lost most of the challenges, so maybe that affected them. The thinking apparently is that the predictive element is not 100% accurate, and that is the reason why they have resisted it. The DRS actually came in when I was the chairman of the ICC Cricket Committee, and I remember at that stage in the discussion that happened, I said that, look, umpires' decisions have never been challenged in all the 100 plus years that we played cricket. Okay, there might have been disappointment or dissent shown at a decision, but we've never actually had a direct challenge where the player will be going and asking for the umpire to refer it to the TV umpire. So if at all there has to be a DRS, I was of the view that it should be between the umpires. The umpires, referring to each other.
You led your team off the field in Australia because of a decision that went against you.
Yes. Not because of a decision that went against me, because as I was walking away, and you can see the video, yes, it was a terrible decision. But,
it was, yeah.
But as I was walking away, the Australians, a couple of the Australians said something to me.
Bye-bye?
Yeah, well, bye-bye, you little. So that's actually when I've actually turned back. And if you'll indulge me for a bit, the evening before, the day before, when Australia were batting, Alan Botham had, according to us, he'd had a few lives, not given out, got bat pad, LBW, not given out, whatever. And then after scoring 100, he was bowled behind his legs. And the umpire walked up to the square leg umpire because he wasn't able to see what had happened. And as the umpire was walking towards the square leg umpire to ask if he'd seen it, the wicketkeeper turned around and said to me, "Skip, if this is given not out, I am going to walk off." And I said to him, no, we've got to accept the umpire's decision. It might be tough, but we've got to accept the umpire's decision. But maybe somewhere down the line, that word walk off was imprinted in my mind. So next day when I had that terrible decision, I wasn't walking off for that. I was going back to the dressing room, and I would have probably thrown my gloves and my leg guards and all that. Not the bat. The bat,
You looked after the bat.
Yeah, the bat, never the bat. That's what I would have done. But as I was walking away, I was given the send off, and that's actually what was the red flag. So I turned back and asked my partner.
And then just to finish the story for those who aren't aware, I think you get to the pavilion gate at the MCG, and your manager, the Indian team manager, comes back and says, "No, Sunny."
No, he just asked my partner, who was trailing me, to stick around. Because if both of us had walked off, then Australia would have had a win. In the end, the next day we went on to win the match.
You did. I was going to say, you won the match. Do you look back on those moments with amazement now and almost wish they hadn't happened? Or? Yeah.
Sure, because irrespective of what the Australians had said to me, I was the captain of the team. I should not have done what I did. And I regret it very much. I should have kept my cool and maybe at the end of the day taken it up with the Australian captain. But I do regret the fact that I asked my partner to walk off. It didn't help him. He was batting on 80-something. He was out for 89, and he never got 100 in Test cricket. He got almost 2,500 runs, but he never got 100, and he was looking good for 100.
I feel like David Frost here. It's the ultimate confessional. Fantastic. That was lovely to hear, and a good lesson in itself, I think. Do the players like DRS? Other than the Indian players? We don't know about the Indian players because that might be a board decision. No, it wasn't I didn't mean to be facetious. I'm genuinely interested. Do cricketers enjoy the way DRS works?
Yes, I think the players can see the benefits of DRS. They enjoy DRS. There are certainly a few things that need changing with it, I think. And I think if we are going to use DRS, if we are going to take the time out, the right decision has to be made at the end of it. There is no point going through everything and then still making a wrong decision because the technology broke down or the stump mic wasn't turned up or whatever the reason is. So if we are going to use DRS, which I think we should, I think it is the right way forward, we have to get the right decision, the right outcome at the end. I was speaking to someone the other day and they actually made a very good point that umpiring on the field, being a third umpire or television umpire, are two very different things. So is there a case that actually you need people trained to be a TV umpire and people trained to be an on-pitch umpire?
Yeah, well,
it's actually two different jobs
working
now.
On that. Yeah, they're certainly working on specialists.
Can I just come in and say that,
Yes.
because this is the MCC, food for thought, as far as, you get your two challenges wrong, you could still get a howler later on. So the DRS, the main purpose is not quite served because of that. What if we had a situation where every batsman was given just one appeal? Just one appeal, one challenge. And what if every bowler was given one challenge?
Oh, Stuart Broad would hate that.
No. I think what would happen is that only if the batsman was 100%. Today, a lot of batsmen take a chance. Look, maybe it's going over the top, maybe let me take. So I think if you give every batsman just one challenge, every bowler just one challenge.
Food for
thought. I'm not saying it should happen, but here we are.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
In a forum, YouTube, food for thought. What do you think? You watch so much cricket. What do you think the balance is between DRS favouring batsman or bowler? Have you got a view on that?
Well, I think the hard facts are that the elite panel of umpires, I think, used to, per season, average around 94% correct decisions, which is a high total. But with DRS, I believe it's 97% now, with the aid of DRS. And as Matt said, and I think that's what it's all about, is actually trying to get the right decisions. Because it is a business, it's a player's career. And if you get a howler and it's off your thigh pad and you're at the start of your career, who knows how that could affect you if you're not out. So DRS is here to stay. It's still been finely tuned, and it will be. It'll take a little bit of time. But I think it's great. When you look at the crowds out there, and the crowds turn around, they all look at the big screen. It's been happening in rugby for yonks. It's the excitement. It's a part of the game. Everybody looks, they make their own decision. So it's not going to go away. I don't think it favours either batsman or bowler, but I do think that overall the decision making is improving.
All right,
I think it's really important to realise with DRS what it's about. It's not about trying to burgle a wicket when it wasn't out. It's just trying to... Umpiring a day is the hardest job in cricket. There is no doubt about it. Since DRS came in, and I'm now stood behind, it hits the pad and I've got 3 blokes telling me, was it out, was it out, did it pitch in line, did it hit him outside? I'm going, I was just trying to see the ball in the first place. It is the hardest job on... So there are going to be the odd mistake here and there. That's going to happen. And I think DRS is just to eradicate that. You're not... The minute a team tries to, oh, well, we'll have a go, that's not the point of it, which brings me to, I don't understand why we suddenly get 2 more referrals at 80 overs. That for me isn't...
No, it was an odd one.
It's a really strange one for me. I would rather say, if you as a team, a wicketkeeper, you refer it, I think that's out, give a not out, and it's hammering, umpire's call outside the line, fair play, not out, but it's hammering into the stumps. You're still not wrong as a fielding team. It goes on the umpire's call, that's fine, but then why should you lose that referral?
Well, I think if it's hitting the stumps, and there's many an occasion where the umpire says, no, it's not out, but as you say quite rightly, but then the replay shows it could be fractionally outside the line, but it's still clattering the stumps. I think there's a case for that just as a carryover. And I don't think you take it away, because I think you just complicate it by bringing in 2 more after 80 overs and wiping the slate. So maybe that's a way around it.
all right. The only other part of the forum I might edge in there is to say if DRS could be speeded up a bit. There are times when it sort of drags out a bit.